Hey everyone, my name is Wedge and welcome back to our Magic the Gathering lore series. If you're just tuning in for the first time, there'll be links in either the video or description to our lore playlist so you can start from the beginning. Spoilers suck. Also try to keep this in mind. I cannot include everything that was in the book. I just can't. If I left out something that you really enjoyed, I'm sorry. I gotta cut something somewhere, right? This novel begins 5 years after the explosion on Argith. Urza has been planeswalking this whole time, increasing and understanding his powers more and more. At the end of this 5-year span, he returns to Dominaria and investigates the caves of Koios. He finds out that the Power Stone he and Mishra had taken was the only thing keeping the portal to Phyrexia inactive. Naturally, he gets pretty upset and vows to destroy the Phyrexians at all costs. He has no idea how to get to their plane, so he pretty much just planeswalks over and over again for years and years trying to find it. We'll come back to him later. Ever since the Argothian explosion, Phyrexia has been trying to find ways to successfully invade Dominaria. They started using a sleeper agent program. They would create things that were basically identical to humans but weren't human at all, then send them into Dominaria to blend in, start wars, and weaken the population overall. One of these sleeper agents and pretty much the narrator of our story is Xantcha. Also something to note, Gix is the head of this whole sleeper agent program. Guy's everywhere. Normally all sleeper agents would be under the direct control of Yawgmoth himself. Xantcha was different in this respect as she had the unique ability to think for herself, something a Phyrexian should absolutely not have. The first wave of sleepers that Gix sends out are discovered and destroyed. Xantha is not among them. Gix is punished severely for failing and is sent to what is essentially the hell of Phyrexia, where he almost dies, but doesn't because he's an insanely powerful praetor. Over time, Xantcha grows to hate the Phyrexians. She's sent on missions to other planes to find more artifacts for Yawgmoth to mess with. She intentionally sabotages these missions due to her hatred. Eventually, she's discovered, and as you can imagine, Yawgmoth is none too pleased. He orders Xantcha to be executed. A bunch of Phyrexians take her to another plane to do the deed, and as they're about to kill her, Urza's passing by. He's been searching for years for Phyrexia or any sign of Phyrexians. So when he sees what's going on, he can't think of anything better to do than save the seemingly human girl from the big bad monsters. In exchange for saving her life, Xantcha tells Urza how to get to Phyrexia. See, the Phyrexians have these devices called ambulators that let them planeswalk. They're pretty nifty. Anyways, Urza waits for the Phyrexians to return to the plane they were just on. When they do, he takes their ambulator and rides a fully constructed dragon engine into Phyrexia with Xantcha in tow. Urza starts killing everything. Phyrexia is made up of 9 spheres layered on top of each other. Urza breaks through 4 of them before finally getting overwhelmed. While he's fighting thousands of Phyrexian monsters, Xantcha takes this opportunity to retrieve her life matrix. This is basically a device that resembles her heart or soul. It's important to her is what I'm getting at. It's at about that time that Urza's reached his limit. The Phyrexians keep coming and coming. He and Xantcha are forced to planeswalk away to survive. Phyrexian negators chase Urza and Xantcha through the multiverse. They planeswalk constantly to avoid detection and certain death. This cycle happens for years. In this time, Urza explains to Xantcha that he can no longer detect Dominaria or any plane near it. This is because the explosion from the Golgothian Silex created what is known as the Shard of the 12 Worlds. This shard made it impossible to planeswalk in or out of Dominaria. On one particular occasion, when Urza and Xantcha were about to die, he transported them to Serra's realm. Created by Serra herself, this plane was as close as you can get to pure white mana. Urza stayed on this plane for 10 years healing from his wounds. That's how long it took Phyrexia to find him. Serra begged Urza to help her defend her realm when they invaded, but Urza refused and planeswalked away with Xantcha. The two of them spend years traveling through planes trying to find any information they can on the Phyrexians or where they came from. Eventually the shard protecting Dominaria is destroyed and they return. For the record, there is a story about the shard, but that's a whole other set of books, so we'll talk about that in another series. Urza constructs a cabin for him and Xantcha on Dominaria. Over time, he begins to go insane. The grief and depression associated with Mishra's death is too much for him to bear. Xantcha finds out that Phyrexia has been sending sleeper agents to Dominaria again. They've infiltrated many high-power organizations and started numerous conflicts. Determined to stop them, she tries to get Urza's attention, but to no avail. He's pretty crazy. Desperate to bring Urza back to sanity, she devises a plan. Xantcha leaves Urza for a month, but returns with a slave named Rat. He's a relatively normal person except for the fact that he looks exactly like Mishra. Urza is eventually convinced that Mishra has been brought back from the dead. With his mind clear, Urza once again aims to bring down Phyrexia. He creates mechanical screaming spiders. These machines emit a frequency so high that humans cannot hear it, but to Phyrexians it's unbearably loud, loud enough to actually kill them. They're programmed to go off at the apex of the Glimmer Moon, something that is fast approaching. Xantcha places these spiders pretty much everywhere, while in one city she discovers Gix in a crypt, barely escaping with her life. The night of the Glimmer Moon's apex arrives, and Urza, Xantcha, and Rat all go to the city where Gix was spotted. The moon activates the spiders and all the sleeper agents die. Gix reveals himself and Urza immediately attacks. Gix runs all the way back to the caves of Koios. This is where the true battle takes place. Urza and Gix fight a ruthless battle. The power of Urza's eyes and the power of a Phyrexian praetor clashing is not something to underestimate. The fight looks like it could go either way for a while. Eventually, Gix starts gaining ground. The Power Stones begin to detach themselves from Urza slowly. Xantcha and Rat notice this and come to the same conclusion. They have to intervene. Xantcha and Rat both try to stop the light from the Power Stones. Gix notices and tries to kill them. When his focus is split, Gix is destroyed by the light of the Power Stones. Both Xantcha and Rat are caught in the explosion and also die. Urza wakes up to basically nothing. Xantcha is dead, Mishra is dead, again, and Gix is dead. In total silence, Urza realizes that he must travel through time to defeat Phyrexia. He must go back to the times of the Thran, as well as stay in the present to combat the true evil. What did you guys think? These books never fail to kill a lot of people. I would give you a little tidbit about what the next book is about, but it's called Time Streams. I'm pretty sure you can figure out where we're going with that. Or should I say, when. Remember to subscribe below for the latest and most reliable Magic the Gathering information you could ever need. This is the Manosaurus, I'm Wedge, thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.